All right. So first of all, I would like to inform about the development life cycle. How many of you know about development life cycle? Just simply say yes or no. IT professionals who have done your BTech, software development life cycle. Any idea? Hello?
like testing and software development life cycle, testing, coding, and
This is called
have
as development life
hi
cycle. This is called as
requirement
development life
like
cycle, right? Now, what
yes
I'm saying
yes sir.
is, yes. Now, what I'm saying is, let's keep aside your whatever courses or whatever what I can say, your IT, non-IT, all these things for a while. Just keep it aside. Now, or are you all five able to see the screen?
Yes sir.
Everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Fine. So the first one is called as requirement capturing. Second is called as analysis. Third is called as designing and coding. Fourth is testing. Fifth is implementation. Sixth is customer feedback. So keeping aside IT, sorry, keeping aside everything, I'll take a small example. Suppose Tapasvi is the carpenter shop owner and her requirement is a table. If your people are able to understand, type yes. If not, I will once again repeat it. So the requirement of a shopkeeper. Let us take one of the participant. Okay, Achari. Suppose Achari is a shopkeeper owner, and his requirement is a table. So next, Achari will tell that the table should be round, straight, and everything, and then he will be taking measurements, right? And then may I know, Achari, who will do this work? Acharya, I want this to be like a class, like an interactive session, not like a classroom. Simple question. Your requirement is a table, and you are
Yes
saying
sir.
something like measurements. Now, who will do
Workers
the?
coding will be do in like measurement
No,
and
no,
all
no,
these
no,
things
no,
are
no,
done
no.
and
Yes, exactly.
okay.
So forget about IT. I'm telling there's a table, there's a requirement,
Yes
and then there is measurements and such. Like you want to have a table of a certain length,
yes sir.
width of a certain height, and this work will be done by a carpenter, right?
Yes sir.
Once the carpenter completes the table, he will not directly give it to you. What he will do is he will test the table.
That's the
Is
yes.
yes. What he will do is he will test the table and then he will see if there are any faults. Like that, if there are any faults, then what happens is they will once again put once again they will do some sort of finishing kind of stuff and they will give you then they'll give the table to you. Now, as a shopkeeper owner, what you will do, you will sell, right?
Yes sir.
That comes under selling. And once you sell, suppose if I purchase, and in case if anything happens to the table, I will not call you because you're the shopkeeper owner. What you will do is you will put one receptionist, and that is nothing but a toll-free number. Is this clear to all the five members?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Keep aside IT, non-IT, government job, that job, this job aside. Simple. Acharya's requirement is a table, and he says that he wants to have a table for a certain measurements. Then the carpenter will come into the picture. Then they will test the faults and they'll give a beautiful table to Achari. And then Achari, as is a shopkeeper owner, he will sell it for some profit. Suppose if I buy it and if there are any problems, I will call the toll-free number.
Toll free number.
Clear, right, to all the five members?
Yes sir.
If it is clear, I request all the five members to type yes in the chat box. Clear, right? Okay, fine. Because I want this not to be like a classroom session. Now, coming to software. Now what I'm doing is, you just see. Now what I will do is, this is called as software development lifecycle. Able to see the screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in this software, what happens is, the requirement of a client, the client is in US and his requirement is a software project. Now, software project in sense, like suppose you take a hotel, and if you go to a hotel, he will giving you one bill that is having a software which is giving you the bill. Like that, if you are having your own mobile phone, it has got a software. That is actually a software and it has got some project. That is actually a software project, and the client is somewhere in the US. Later, what he will do, he will have he will give that work to one company. Let us take the company as Infosys or Wipro or Satyam. So that particular company will have a business analyst. That business analyst, what he will do is, just now I gave an example about the table to Achari, right?
Yes, sir.
Achari, what you will do is, there are two scenarios. Suppose Achari will say that you want the table to be done in just 3 days, and there is another scenario where you want the table to be done after 3 months. So you tell me how many, I mean, will the manpower will be high or manpower will be low in first scenario?
Manpower will be high because the project will be completed within 3 days.
3 days, right? Like that. The client will put a deadline stating that this project should be completed at a certain time. At that point of time comes the, just now you have been asking
Manpower.
Achari that companies are asking experience, right? Suppose if the
Yes.
project has to be done at a very rapid pace, then they want experienced professionals. And then the table which I'm actually going to prepare, it all depends on your budget. Suppose if you want to have a very posh table, then you will invest more, right?
Yes.
Like that, the client who is actually planning for a software project, depending on his budget comes the salaries. And then it is called as analysis. Up till now, is it clear for you all five?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful, great. Next comes coding. Here comes Java, .NET, SAP, etc., 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 which people are getting confused. This is called as coding, which means once the project has come, then they will have analysis, and then comes the coding part. Then once the software is done, if there are any problems or errors, comes testing tools. When you go outside, you'll be finding a huge coding of testing tools, Java, .NET, SAP, Java one course, .NET one course, SAP one course, testing one course, Java, .NET, SAP testing, the entire package one course, this amount. That's how it got commercialized, which I don't want to do. Till now, is it clear? And
Sir, once more, the design and coding part, please
uh,
explain.
see, designing and coding in sense, like suppose if there is any project, and in that project, suppose if the client requirement, see, Java is free, but actually it's an environment. Suppose if the client requirement is to do the project in a environment of Java, they will use Java. Or if the project is about designing, then they will use .NET. If the project is about like SAP ABAP or SAP FICO or anything, then comes SAP. And in case if the project is about, say, about machine learning or anything, then so it depends on the project comes the coding part here, everything. And then testing tools is as completely a separate entity where they will be communicating with the developers. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Next, after completing the project, then what have what will come into the picture? Sales and marketing will come into the picture, because just now how Acharya is studying the table, after completing the project comes sales and marketing. And then once sales and marketing is done, then comes the call center. Why call center? It's like I'll give you. Now we all are using mobile phones, and if there's any problem, we'll call the toll-free number 121 of Airtel line, right? Like that,
Yes, sir.
like that, there is a contact center. Suppose if the client is of Indian client, it is a normal English, Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam call center. Suppose if the project is of the US, then obviously it is an international call center. Till now, is it clear
Yes, sir.
to everybody, all the 5 members?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
There's a government employee in this group, in this Zoom call. Tapasvi, you will understand everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this one. So next is what I'm saying is, now coming to the language English. Coming to language English, what I'm saying is, as the CEOs and main people, they obviously require an extra English. Then coming to business analysts, as they are into the higher level and they want to, as they have to communicate with the clients, obviously it should be English should be excellent. And then here also, right? Now my simple question is to you all 5 members. In this coding part, tell me, should English be excellent, normal, or okay?
Normal.
Who is saying normal?
It's Achari.
What about the rest of the 4 members? Tell me, English, you want this to be normal or
I think English should be excellent, sir.
English should be excellent? Who is that?
Pooja, sir.
Pooja. Why Pooja?
To explain to anyone coding and designing, about coding and designing, we must explain in English only, no, sir.
To some extent, you are correct. But here, what I'm saying is, it's normal, because I'll tell you. Yes, accepted if you have
Yes,
got.
sir. It's normal.
Suppose if your English is okay, also not a problem. See, very simple, ma. If you take a carpenter, what he will do while doing the carpenter work, they'll be focusing only on this work. They won't speak with the main person nor with the testers. After completing this work, when they give it to the one person to check the faults, then the person who has seen the faults, they have to communicate, which means wherever there is communication, English should be good. Here, technical knowledge should be good, but communication wise, if you are okay, also is sufficient. That's the reason this is highly beneficial, and no need to worry, even if your English is also normal also. Got the point? The reason
Yes,
is
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
coding is something where you need not even speak with the client. That's why it is normal.
In coding, that communication between two, how many people are engaged, and all these things only they discuss how to implement. And so at that moment, English is normal, is good, not excellent, not much more, like not less English.
Okay. Now, Tapasvi and another person, I'm going to say we have got some more people over here. Let them speak, because, okay. Pooja and Tapasvi, you tell me, in testing, what sort of English do you need? Tapasvi,
Sir,
tell me, in testing tools, should the English be normal or okay or excellent?
I think here also English is required in normal manner
Why?
because writing test cases,
Ah,
writing
yes.
test cases, Those are only simple tasks, and we need to communicate with the developer.
Exactly. Perfect. But here I wrote it as normal. Here I wrote it as good. For the only reason is here the faults which are there is a communication with the carpenter saying that there are some nuts and bolts which are not working properly. Like that, there are some faults in the programming. So this communication will happen, and because of this communication, English should be much better compared to the developer. The English is normal for a developer, but for testing tools, English should be good because this communication should be good. The communication between the developer and the tester. That's why English should be good. Not excellent, like how am I speaking? How did I get my knowledge and everything? That also I'll tell you. So English should be good. Coming to sales and marketing, obviously it should be excellent because we are speaking with the customers. And coming to contact centers, it obviously should be good because we are speaking to the customers. So the customers are here because the client is over here. Then the person, the main people, they need to speak to the client, right? Here the English should be good. Whereas here there is no need of the customers where you are speaking with your friends who are sitting on the same line, working along with you. So English is normal. English should be good because you are finding and in fact you are communicating with the developers. So English should be good. And sales and marketing is something where you are going to communicate with the customers. Again, English should be good. And here call center is something where you are communicating with the customers. So here also English should be excellent, good, excellent. Till now, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now you should take a decision depending on your skills, exactly where to go, because this has created a lot of confusion to everybody of exactly which sector should I select. If I go to IIT, what happens? If I go to non-IIT, what happens? All these things. So this is called as development life cycle, where I gave the example of a table, and now it is I told about the project. So this is called as the IT. Very much clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
To all the 5 members?
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. So I will be next telling you. Now, I'll just stop the screen sharing part. Now I'll ask few questions. Now it's 7:14. Now you tell me, Pooja Tapasvi, for how long will you stay? Another 15-20 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Fine, right.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll ask 2 to 3 questions. Now tell me, you have understood about IT, non-IT, right? Now you tell me what sort of a companies you want. You want a high level company or a low level companies? Confused, right?
Yes, sir.
Those high level company only, sir.
High in sense like MNCs, multinational company, and then Deloitte, and then small companies. I don't want, sir. I want big companies, right? That is what is in your mind, right?
Sir, what is the difference? The work loading like MNC is good or startup company is good?
I'm able to tell the same thing to you only. I'm answering to all the questions. Just now I gave the example about analysis, business analyst is how the manpower. Tapasvi or silent, you tell me. Now we want to have a very big MNC company or a normal company.
I think a normal company is the best place to learn the new technologies. Means if it is a startup, we can learn the work, sir.
Okay, so that is Tapasvi's intention. Mahesh, can you tell me what kind of a company you want? You want a very good high-fi Deloitte, big companies, or any
No,
small?
sir. No, sir.
Hmm,
First, I want to join in a startup company. I will
hmm.
learn things in that company, whatever they are using, and afterwards, I will go to MNC.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. So you all people want to gain experience and go forward, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will give a clarity. Now tell me, all of you 4 members, there are two types of companies. Can you tell me what are those two types of companies?
Service based, product based companies.
Super, fantastic. Who is that? Who told that one?
Tapasvi, sir.
Tapasvi. Service based and product based. How many of you agree with her?
I'm agree with her.
Excellent.
I am also, sir.
Fine. Service
Sure, sir.
based and project based, right? Now, what about Pooja?
Me too, sir.
So you're aware of this two of this two. What is called as service based and what is called as product based?
Product based means they are working on for some sort of product. For example, take Dell Corporation. It is working on some networking devices, laptops, computers. And if
Exactly.
it is a service-based company, take example as Tata Consultancy Services. It mainly take the projects from the clients and develop the product and
Yes.
deliver as per the client requirements.
Yes. Perfect. Exactly. Now, what I'm saying is, uh, to some extent, you people what all is perfectly correct. So the one who could not answer, I'm just, I mean, doing it for you people only. So one. There are two types of companies. One is called as product based, one is called as product based. Now, product in sense like they have got their own products. I think the screen is visible to you people, right?
Yes, sir.
So just now how our friend told, one is Google, Dell, Facebook. They have got their own products, and then the companies which are of the product, I mean, which are of project, you take Infosys Pro Satyam. Now, all these people, they are having some clients in the US, whereas here they are the owners of the companies. So, no matter recession come or go or COVID or anything, whatever come, nothing will happen to which companies. Can you tell me the unaffected companies in these two?
Correct, sir.
I think product-based companies.
It is obviously product based companies because no matter anything happens, recession or anything, as the client is sitting somewhere in the US, if anything happens to his financial status, the companies which will be getting affected is these only. So TCS is a very big company, Wipro, Infosys. So it is not about the company big, small also. Always focus on these kind of companies where tomorrow, even if you get recession or anything, the companies are safe. And also, we have got Tapasvi. Government job is always the best, ma. But anyways, I'll have a talk to you in person. Next is coming to hiring part. What happens is majority of these companies, which are the broad-based companies, they won't go to colleges for placements because the openings, once the openings are there, they will they will hire and they will see that the employees will be working for a longer period of time. Whereas here, what happens is mass recruiting because just now I gave an example of a table. Once a table is over, the work of the carpenter is over, right?
Yes, sir.
Like that, suppose if any project is over, the job is over. Again, there comes another project. Again, interviews. That's why recruiting will happen a lot in these kind of companies. Whereas here, not needed. And coming to salaries, it is high because you take Dell. Dell has got its own product, which is called Dell laptop. So if the revenue is more, the salaries will be more. Whereas here, it depends on the client budget. So increment also depends on the performance of the employee. So suppose just now I told about table. Depending on the amount that is putting for a table comes the salary to the carpenter. Like that here also, it comes to the employee. Whereas at the same time, the interviews are also tough for the only reason is they want people to work for are they fit for these companies? Are they working for a longer period of time also? They will have a look at and a lot of scrutiny will happen. whereas here not needed. Interview depends on the potential. If you are suppose if the suppose if client's requirement is a person to speak a very good English, they will take. Suppose if the client requirement is say okay normal English, but technically they should be strong. So it all depends on the client requirement. So the interview will depend on the client requirement, whereas here the interview will not depend on the client. No client, nothing. So whenever you're going for any interviews, and you need to check first of all, is it a product-based company or a project-based company?
State-based company.
Yes, these two should be there. Next is the learning curve. Just now, one of our friend told that I will join in a small company, will learn new technologies, right? You take these companies. Always these companies will be having updated information. Whereas here, depending on the client, comes the employees are taught according to the company needs. So with this, you can easily know exactly where to go now. Till now is clear for you people?
Yes, sir.
I know that you people are aware of it, but still I just gave a small glimpse about the companies. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. So now tell me, Tapasvi and Teja, Tapasvi,
Yes, sir.
do you want to leave or you want to stay for some more time? Because I
I
will
can
go
stay.
to that.
I can stay, sir.
Okay, fine. Till now it's clear for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Till now it's clear for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain exactly who am I, what kind of services I'm going to provide, and then I will wind up with a small gift which I'm going to give it to you all four. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right, fine. So just let me. I mean to say I want all 1, 2, 3, 4 members to stay for another 15 minutes more to have a much more better clarity.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Fine,
sir.
right.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. That's great. So let me know whether you people are able to see it clearly or not. Able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is called as e-recruitment. I told you on phone it's about e-recruitment, but here I'll give you a better clarity. Now, you all people want a job, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
First of all, I appreciate that you people have come to this webinar and spending some time. In fact, it's almost an hour, and everyone wants a job, and you want a high-paying job, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, my simple question is now Tapasvi, and we have got Pooja, Tapasvi, Achari, and even Mahesh. Everyone want a job, but now tell me, what does a company want from you? You want a job,
Skills.
accepted, but what does a
What
company want from you?
skills?
Skills. Anything else?
Skills, way of
Potential.
communication.
And
Communication.
and majority don't know what exactly what the company need. Company needs stability. How many of you know about stability? Stability in sense like a person who is working for a longer period of time. Say if there is any opening and if the company will think that an employer, a student or a working professional will be working for only for about 4 or 5 months. Again they will leave. Again a vacancy. Again 4 or 5 months. Again vacancy, which nobody will like. So they want a person who will be working for a minimum of 1 to 2 years. Only that is exactly what the company is looking for. Yes, accepted. Technically, you should be strong. You should be strong communication skills. So you should also be strong. But what the job seeker, I mean to say, what the company is expecting is a longer period of time. Now the question is, from where will you get this longer period of time stability? Will is in your mind, right?
Yes, sir.
So how will you get a longer period of time in sales? Right? Very simple. Now in the first screen, can you tell me who's the test player? The first person.
MS Dhoni.
Now MS Dhoni, we are asking him to play chess. Now Tapasvi, tell me right side who's the person? Right side. He is Vishwanathan Anand. He is a chess master and he has been asked to play cricket. Can they play for a longer duration?
No, sir.
No.
Why? Why?
Because Dhoni is suitable for the cricket career, and that chess leader is
Anand,
suitable for the
right?
chess.
See, it is not like suitable. Here in his blood, actually, it is cricket. And if you take Anand, he is a test player. So suppose if we ask Dhoni to play test cricket, he will play for the entire day. And if you ask Anand to play chess, he will play for the entire day because their area of interest is this one. Like that, suppose if one person is good in coding and another person is good in communication skills, and if both gets mismatched, they can't work for a longer period of time. So what does the company want? Company want a person where they are actually working for a longer period of time, which means suppose the requirement is cricket, and if you play well, and if you play for a longer period of time, obviously a recognition will come. So exact matching will happen only when there is exact person. Suppose if you are into the exact track, only then comes the growth. Are you able to get the point?
Yes, sir.
See, you take Dhoni. Dhoni has not started, has not become a cricket captain in just one single day. He has started his career and then slowly because he was comfortable playing cricket. That's why he is able to grow like anything and he become a captain. Like that, you take Anand. Like that, if you are exactly on a proper track, only then you can excel and then you can move into a career where you can grow. Now you can see the alphabet C. It's entry level. A is senior level. R is managerial level. E is senior manager level. E might be an vice president or AVP level. So if you stick to only one company, then comes the growth. One person will work in one company. He will leave that company. He will again go to, so the person who keeps on changing companies will stay here only. He can't grow. He can't grow. He'll be staying only here only. For the only reason is this, which means I'll tell you. This is the basic reason. So exactly who you are you a cricket player or are you a chess player or exactly who you are, only you and the God who created, only you can know. So just now I told about software development life cycle. So exactly where do you fit in IT or non-IT or into the BPO or any, that's the reason I've asked you to take the screenshot of it. I think you all five got the clarity of what I told. Leah?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you are selecting any company, ensure that you stick to the company for some period of time and then you should grow. Suppose if you join in one company, you should come out of the company as a manager or at least as a senior role. Not like again a small company again, because this kind of guidance, no HR will tell. This kind of guidance will be done by career guidance, and that's what I'm actually doing it. So to make it quick, I'm just introducing myself and basically I'm from Hyderabad and I'm brought up over here only. And teaching is my blood because my grandparents are teachers and even my parents are teachers. So as I said in the telephonic conversation, my previous employer was Tata and HSBC, and I did take care of recruiting stuff and everything. So I have quit HSBC for the only reason is I'm not blaming HSBC. It's a very good company. And after that, while leaving work, now tell me how many of you know about her? Can any one of you know exactly who is she who is just beside me? No, right? I'll tell you. So while leaving HSBC, in fact, she is my colleague, and her name is Rohini Mundra. You can Google about her. I will show you about her in the next slide. So while leaving HSBC, then I had a plan to go and begin with this career guidance. And as there are 3 people who are from Hyderabad, how many of you know about this college? I don't want this to be like a classroom session, please. I want interaction. There are 3 people from Hyderabad. Can you tell me TKR Edition Society? Have you seen this college?
No, sir.
TKR, Tigala Krishna Reddy Education Society. So this is where actually I gave a session to them, and I have given sessions about the career guidance to them before pandemic. And then during pandemic, what happened also, I'll tell you just before I wind up, I will show you exactly about her in her own words. I told about one of our friend just now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I am just putting a small video.
HFBC is a product based or service based company.
HSBC is actually a product based, it's related to the banking sector.
Yes, sir. My cousin is working in HSBC.
Okay, got it. Anyways, due to some technical reasons, I think it's not working out. I'll once again play. Next is during pandemic, what happened was during pandemic. Now, during pandemic, what happened was everything became online. The HR used to sit here, and then the interviews used to happen virtually. Now, like that, what happened was during our first wave and second wave, like how I've given the career guidance offline, just have seen in the slides, it all became online where people used to post their profiles in Facebook, and that's how I have actually, like how we are actually right now interacting. Like that, people used to interact and then they used to get the jobs completely online. So, in that way, my method during pandemic was also the same, where I have interacted with 2 categories. One is working professionals, another is freshers. So working professionals in sense like I used to screen the candidate and background verification is also done from my end. However, not in person. I mean, as a recruiter, I can easily find out exactly is a person really a genuine or an ingenuine one. And then I used to provide free career counseling because I think someone is speaking over here. Hello. Yeah. So I used to suggest a few tips to them, and then I used to put them in the HR, but not blindly. I will never take your resume and I'll put in the HR session. I mean, I'll not give it that way. First of all, I will do all these checks and everything, and then I used to put in the HR round. Like that, as you are freshers, right now, today I'm giving it to you a free career guidance today. And then awareness on the job market, I gave about the 2 types of companies. but very less. I'll give you a separate one later. And then comes resume preparation. I have received some of your resumes which are actually not up to the mark. That resume preparation also, that also I will tell you very soon, but not in this call. I'll tell you separately. Next comes the mock interviews. After preparing you properly, only then I will put you people with the HRs. Is this clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Right? So then with this, I'll clear up. Now tell me how many of you know about LinkedIn? LinkedIn.
No, sir.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is world's professional network. See, you can see post-COVID in sense like right now, are we in post-COVID or pre-COVID?
Post COVID.
We are in post-COVID, which means COVID is over. So here, during at that point of time itself, it's mentioned that as per the statistics, that virtual hiring or recruiting will continue, which means that is what is happening right now. Virtual hiring is happening even now also, which means some of the rounds are happening virtually and rest of the rounds are happening at the company, majority, which I'm not telling on my own. In fact, it is stats. So my mission is to give you some value. And till now, I have already placed nearly 6,500 students. And my benchmark is to cross 10,000 people by year 2025. And I'm going to give you value. What's the value and all that also I'll be telling you in the next sessions. And I could find there are 3 sets of mindsets. And till now it is clear for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are 3 sides of, I have come across 3 mindsets. One is majority told, sir, we are aware of all these things. I want a job, that's it. Which means they are in this stage of now. What next will take care of it? For them, okay, I will tell them. There are some people who says, sir, we got a government job, but we would like to go to a private job. Like how Tapasvi is saying, a bit confused. So for them, I'll show them the exact path. Third is there are some freshers who say, sir, I have passed out very, very recently. I don't know anything. You please get me step by step till I get a job. That's the third category. So to which category do you belong? That I have no clue. So this I will be taking a separate session for you people.